Alright. So, welcome. Hey. Let's see here. Oh. Okay, so tonight you can already see some bigger critters moving around. Hey Greg! Hello! Welcome in. How are you doing? Just getting everything set up. Ah, shoot. Beverage is empty. I might make a quick run to get something to drink. Be right back. Okay. So as you can see, we have some isopods here. Azellus aquaticus. Hey, Pond Labs here. Dude, I should have better prepared for the stream, but I couldn't pass on watching the videos in your new channel. It's really nice footage, man. I'm stoked to see someone else contributing to this obscure topic. So, and you know, my Blackmagic cam is nice and all, but the slow motion footage you're getting with the GH5 you're using, right? It's really nice to have these like dragonfly nymphs attacking water flea and see the movement properly. Did enjoy it a lot. This is all well, live, so regular speed, I guess. But I've been thinking about modifying the format a little bit. What do you guys think about a guest speaker? Because I would love to have someone that knows a little bit more about these critters on stream. So I thought it would be a cool idea to have GH6. Ah, okay. Angus is here. Hi, Angus. GH6. Okay. Well, 200 and does it 240 frames in full resolution or HD, or what kind of resolution do you get with 240 FPS? Because that's something I think I can get 120 in I can get 4K 60 frames, I can get HD, I can even get a little bit over HD. Some weird in-between resolution. I can get I can get 120 frames, but not more. I can never get more than that. So yeah, I mean, let me tell you about the sample. It's actually a mixed bag. The isopods and the leech that's crawling around in the foreground here. Which has its eye spots very close together, makes them look kind of weird. My test tubes, I use different sizes. This one is a 30 millimeter, so about 1 inch. Oh, I don't have to badly. You can do a bad estimation of how much 30 millimeters is an inch. 3 centimeters. But I've got some bigger glass I want to use in the future. Just have to modify my setup to accommodate that. But this one is a 3 centimeter tube. I also have 16 millimeter tubes, and I've ordered big ones, so I think they are 70, so 7 centimeters. And I hope to really be able and kind of build a little aquarium in those. I mean, these 3 centimeter tubes also, they really do. I love how they keep. Even I can keep them going for weeks and weeks and weeks and revisit them. It's kind of, they are so small that it's really hard to like clean the glass. Once it gets dirty, like physically clean the glass without scrambling everything that's in there, basically. Okay, so PondLab responded, its GH6 does 300 FPS in HD, but the quality drops a bit, okay. Yeah, the Topaz, I upscale. I don't use Topaz yet. I know it's all the rage. I'm just trying to get stuff out of camera, and yeah, well, for example, in that pond dipping video that you did on your new channel, on this channel, on the PondLab channel, I thought that cuckoo, for example, that probably went through some denoising and sharpening, but it looked really good, so I don't know, it's a game changer, obviously, but I haven't bought into it yet, and I'm always late to these things. Did some innovating for the building this thing, I guess, but my setup, but the digital side is not my strongest, let's put it like this. So yeah, like I started to explain, this tube is made from a mixed bag of sources, and one of them is actually my oldest. Oh, there's an ostracod. My oldest sample that I have, the first real sample that I took when I bought my microscope almost a year ago. I took this sample. It was in July last year, or late June, something like that. And Of course, I don't know if the leech just lived that long. I know that the azalus, the water lice here, the isopods, they can live that long. I actually read up on those, and we have a polarizer in, by the way. That's why the muscly, the legs are like so bright. Anyways, I collected the sample almost a year ago. The Nautilus. Tiny. Is it dead? What's he doing? I collected that almost a year ago, and it went through a series of changes. So at first it kept going for a good while, then it started developing a certain fragrance and was starting to be low on oxygen. So I put it outside where the wind could increase the dissolved oxygen that's in there, and that worked fairly well, but it got infested with mosquitoes. But that was kind of a fleeting phenomenon. It got really infested with mosquitoes, and they hatched, and that was the end of the story. Didn't get continuously bred, and after there were no more mosquitoes. I don't know, for example, if the leeches could feed on those mosquito larvae as well, because I don't know if there were any other predators in there, but yeah, the isopods and the leech are both coming from that sample. The thing I added. What is the leech doing there? Ah, it's feeding. It's feeding on a midge larvae. Let me get a little zoom in here. Sorry. It looks like it's holding on to a midge larvae with the rear sucker, and trying to eat it with the front, of course, with the mouth, which is on the front. It's definitely grabbing this. Is that a chironomid midge or something similar? Seems to be a chironomid or something, yeah. So how do these guys... I've never observed a leech. So yeah, just speaking of it, I just always assumed that these guys they kind of suck on the isopods from time to time, without maybe without killing them. And just when I'm speculating that these guys also feed on mosquito larvae, we see it holding on to a midge. Now I don't know if they... I mean, Neil, how do leeches feed? You're a wildlife educator, right? Would you mind? I know they suck body fluids usually, but I mean, can they suck the body fluid of such a small invertebrate without just sucking it dry? Is that possible? I don't know. Ah. engulf. That's to say that they swallow it. Isopods passing by. Okay, so let's just keep watching that. See? I want to see a leech engulf this. But their mouth is at the front, right? It's is it on the inside of the front sucker, the mouth? I should brush up on leech anatomy. I'm not an expert, I guess. Oh, really? Horse leeches suck up worms like spaghetti. That would be fun to watch, I guess. Well, but this looks like it's trying to suck it up with the wrong end. Two butts attached together. Yeah, okay, the mouth is in the front of the in the center of the front sucker. This makes sense, kind of functionally. Seems functional, yeah. Oh, go for it. Come on, Leechy boy. It's really weird how this rear sucker is holding on to the midge. Becoming really cup-shaped and holding on, yeah. But yeah, it's I guess it's something that humans just assume, that the sucker of a leech is like you know, something that you can only attach to a flat surface. But of course, these guys can grab onto all kinds of things. Thanks, by the way, Neil, for your input. I appreciate it very much. So this would be perfect to have you as a guest speaker, for example, to just explain these things. Yeah, let's stay on the leech a while. I'm interested in how this goes down. If it will suck on this. Kind of hard to watch. Not in a, well, for some people it would be hard to watch in a kind of eek way. For me it's hard to watch from a perspective kind of. Yeah, of course. I mean, Pond Lab. I guess that the stuff that's really smaller than ostracods and water fleas is another alley. But the bigger protists, I mean, at least identifying them, identifying kind of the big ciliates, the stentors and the paramecia and these things. But the bigger ciliates would require a different optical setup too. I would need to go maximum magnification, put in all my macro tubes. Come on, suck it up like spaghetti. I wanna see it. Are leeches a danger to your endless and shrimp in your aquarium? I mean, there's leeches, as far as I know, there are leeches that are fairly specialized in fish or crustaceans, for example. So there's this thing where humans usually like to put things in a drawer and be happy with it being in that drawer. So if you can identify something as a leech, it's a leech. But a lot of times, if you wanna learn what you're really looking at, you have to look really a lot closer and try to identify down to a species level, because there's leeches that are predatory and there's leeches that are parasitic, and there's some, I don't know, there's some that only go for mammals, I think, and others that are specialized in fish, others that are, I think there's even some that are like attaching to crustaceans but not sucking on the crustacean's blood, but just using them as a ride, basically, to be carried around to different spots where they can feed on things that float by, if I remember correct. I think So in short, I can't answer if the leeches... there are some leeches that can hurt fish, I guess. But yeah, you'd be... it's hard to say for sure which leeches are dangerous to fish. So some of them aren't really that mobile. They aren't that... Some of them are really good swimmers, but some of them aren't. So, well... I don't know if they're that picky though. Some of them... might be... I mean, I'm guessing that this one usually sucks on the isopods, because in that sample there isn't a whole lot left except for isopods. I mean, there are some annelid worms as well, and some copepods, ostracods, things like that. So I'm assuming that this one is predatory. But in this sample, in this tube, I used so the isopods and the leech from this very old sample that I have, and I put some moss in that I collected last week to give them something to climb around on. And the moss comes from a fountain and it has some biofilm on it, so they will go for that, because they are not being really fed in their jar, in their sample jar. That is like a half-liter sample jar that they've spent the last year in, and I only feed them from time to time with some dry leaves. Oh, it left. It wasn't tasty enough, apparently. Maybe the leech developed a taste for isopods. It doesn't want anything else now. Hey, Nippa! Nice to see you're here. I always have fun when you're here. So... As you can tell, this is a leech. It has a front sucker and a rear sucker that it uses to travel around, inchworming along. yeah, to that moss, that midge larvae that we saw earlier. Oh, well, hello, Della Stagnalis. I think it was the ID that I came up with when I collected the sample for the leeches that I saw there. I can try to get a better look on that. Because I don't remember any scales. We are in polarized light, so that should might make it easier to see anything hard. Can you tell me where the scale is? Is it in the middle or like more in the front? Is it that dark spot right behind the head? I am in western France, near the German and Swiss borders. So I would guess that the macroinvertebrates aren't that different from the ones in the UK. Oh yeah, okay. A scale. Hello, Dilla. So, leeches are really cool in polarized light because they are made up of mostly muscle fibers, and that shows up very, very well depending on the orientation of the polarized light. So that weird blue lighting that this leech emits is because there is some polarized light going on. There's also a lateral light, so if I put that out, okay, the effect is more pronounced, but the stuff can get a little dark and the leech gets a little overexposed. But yeah, it looks freaky. And if, there's a different kind of lighting setup where you can get really nice colors out of these muscle fibers from the leech. Oh, aloha from Hawaii! Hi Dylan! Aloha! What time is it in Hawaii right now? Yeah, I mean, I know why I had the lateral lights on as well, because it just gets kind of dark here near the sediment. I don't know, Nippa. I mean, I can take a minute to look up in my book what's written about the species. If it's Heloptella stagnalis. I'll just go into here a little orbiting mode and I'll look up real quick because here are the leeches. So it says right. Heloptella stagnalis. It's on chironomid larvae, water flea, zealous, so the pond slaters here, the isopods, and snails. Without papil, it's German, so it's hard to translate some of the things that are written here. Ohne Papillen und Zeichnung. It doesn't have any markings. Not a lot, at least. Number 6. So we can see the inside a little bit. Ah yeah, okay, that's a dark plate on the back between the 10th and the 11th segment. And it's 5 to 10 millimeters long, and it's very common. So, the other leeches that are in my book don't seem to have the scale on their back. So, I'm guessing that it is... various insects in Pond Lab's book. That's interesting. You're a leech expert, Nipper. Why didn't you say so? Please do tell. What do you know about these guys? Let me find him again. He's over there. Can see him. Focus, please. Come on, move. There we are. Just in the shade of this pebble that I threw in there to have some landscape. The hardscape is making it hard to observe this leech. So I'm guessing this is not one of the leeches that can suck up a chironomid larvae like a spaghetti. Good look on the scale here. You've got most of them as a pet. Yeah, I can relate to that. They are fun to watch. They're just a pain to handle, in my opinion. If you've ever pipetted a small leech, you know what I'm talking about. It's hard to make them leave the pipette, and if they don't want to leave the pipette, they won't leave the pipette. You have to make them want to leave the pipette. Well, this one was okay. This wasn't so bad. But recently I've pipetted a tiny baby leech, and it attached to the inside of my pipette, and I tried different things to make it try and leave the pipette and go into the vessel I wanted it to go. So, yeah. Leeches and baby snails always the last hanging on when you empty the pond tray. Yeah, in the pond tray you can help them along. Yeah. In the pipette, it's more hard. It's a little harder to make them understand that they should leave. Last time I had to shine a really strong light from the balloon section, so from the upper end of the pipette onto the leech to make it want to leave afterwards. Oh, you haven't had any luck keeping leeches. Well, Halopdella stagnalis seems to be fairly low maintenance. I can't say that I have done anything special to this guy. They have been in that sample for a long time now. Then again, I think this is the last survivor. Might have been multiple ones first at the beginning. Might even be the second generation, because I think they reproduced. And in one of my bigger jars, they also reproduced. There's a bigger leech that has made some babies, and one of these babies was the one that got stuck on the inside of the pipette. So, did it find something again? Why is it curling up? Looks like the scale is showing some other reflection or response to the polarizer. Yeah, Nipper, sorry, I'm only reading your comment now. Light, strong light. Most of the leeches that I am aware of don't appreciate strong light, so the first time I put a leech under the microscope on a slide, on a regular compound microscope, it actually crawled out from underneath the cover slip, and it even left the slide. It fell onto my condenser lens. So question mark. Why question mark? Why? Okay, so isopods. What can we... What is there to talk about isopods? I've learned that they are being sold as pets more often. The terrestrial ones are really popular as pets, and there are all kinds of different breeds, color traits. It was the question mark for another comment from Nipper. No problem. No hard feelings. A hard time keeping this guy in focus. Oh, really? Nipper says that some collect to the shallow shores when the sun rises, some leeches. Maybe that's to find hosts? Because the mammals go for a drink in the morning? I don't know. Or for a bathe, for a bath? Could that be? So the terrestrial isopods are getting really popular, but I don't know why the aquatic ones aren't more popular. Because you can keep them in a very, very small aquarium. They'll be happy. As long as there's some biofilm to feed on, some green stuff to produce oxygen, maybe. the sample that they have been in for such a long time and the leech is coming from is covered in duckweed. So there's always duckweed, so the duckweed kind of cycles. There's always some regrowth, old duckweed dying, new duckweed growing, and the old ones sink to the bottom, and the isopods can eat on those. There's our leech again, doing the worm. Oh. So no news on the. Actually there are news for the fiber optic cable. We finally found the conduit, but we're not yet at the point where it has been compacted. So now we have to determine which direction is the blockage from the point we found. And we're getting closer. It's a real treasure hunt. They would. I'm reading back on the chat. The leeches would flatten themselves and do that undulating motion, almost like they try to swim while being attached to a rock with their bottom sucker. That sounds to me like it's low oxygen. They do that to replace the oxygen depleted water around their body. No, they breathe through their skin, through what do you call it? Is that called osmosis? No. Osmosis is the salt concentrations. It's called diffusion, right? I would assume that if leeches wiggle attached to a surface, that they are trying to get kind of load up on oxygen. Maybe in ponds where there's a lot of decomposing. I'm really speculating right now, you know. But if you have a pond with a lot of, well, even with live plants do consume oxygen when it's dark, right? So it could be that during the night, towards the end of the night, the lower layers of water get low on oxygen, and the leeches travel to the shore where there should be the highest oxygen levels, and they wave around to get to that good oxygen. It's really hard to read all this, what's going on in the chat, and keep an eye on what's going on screen, and controlling the machine to keep something interesting in focus. Hey, Leechy boy. You've lost patience with horse leeches, trying to get them to pierce your skin, and they wouldn't. called horse leeches. I would assume that they like to suck on horses. Yeah, I mean, it was really speculation. I know that a lot of these pond critters have like they do some movements to increase oxygen uptake. But yeah, I'm not sure how that is for leeches. I think the isopods from this sample, they have lost some of their pigmentation. They seem more transparent than others I've seen. Then again, these are really small isopods. They are not adult by a long shot. These are small enough to be pipetted around. Only a few millimeters in length, body length. The really big ones get 2 centimeters. The freshwater isopods. The marine isopods, on the other hand, you know, they can get like half a meter. The deep sea giant isopods. Yeah, there's all these kind of confusing names, and I feel like it's even more in these small creatures. Oh! Does our leech suck on an isopod right here? Didn't I see an isopod leg sticking out? What did he find? No. Let's see. It would be nice to have those giant isopods just crawling around everywhere. I'm not sure. I think it would take some getting used to. Depending on the people that are nearby. I mean, there's places where you can watch them up close, where you can even touch them. I've seen videos of people going to some aquariums where you can like touch them. They are really, yeah, I mean, they are really beautiful in a way. With these huge triangular eyes, reflecting eyes. Yeah, that's a piece of isopod. Right? It's definitely a piece of isopods that our leech is holding on to. Die sucker. But it's not the sucker that dies, it's the leech that does the sucking. The leech is a sucker for water lice. I'm a sucker for isopods, said the leech. Oh. So, I mean, I could try to wing some lighting modifications and make this leech really stand out color-wise. I think I'll do that. Oh no! Oh, huh! What a coincidence! Right when I'm talking about lighting modifications, my battery-driven light is going out. But I can just plug it in to make it go again. So let me think. How can I put this? I need to move the condenser back. Did it just stick out? What is happening? The leech is sticking out something from its mouth, isn't it? Something weird is happening. Does it have a proboscis? This guy? Is it like cleaning its? It's definitely part of the leech. Weird. So it's not sucking on. Whoa. It's licking. It's what is happening? It's the proboscis. I've never observed this, guys. I've spent some time. This guy is trying to stick its proboscis down this isopod leg. That's what happened. That's what's happening. He's really trying to lick the bowl. Suck the crab meat out of the crab leg. What, piercing its prey or trying to get the good bits? Oh no, I'm out of focus. Okay. So this is weird. And yeah, our leech is really colorful. So in case you don't know this, you can use polarizing film, and you can go to extinction with two polarizers, so you cross them to have only the birefringent objects visible, so the things that will change the polarity of the light. Or, like I'm doing here, this is not at full extinction, this is at like half extinction maybe, or half or quarter, I don't know. And I've added a piece of cellophane or some plastics. They act as a retarder, like a wave plate. So they will make the polarization response wavelength dependent. So they will change the color of light that will come out. Yeah, it's a RGB leech nipper. It's true. It looks like a gamer leech or something. The RGB leech and the snail with the Wi-Fi antenna. You're really making the right connections. These small invertebrates are all really very modern creatures. They have arrived in the new millennium. Yeah, but our pebble is in the way of the light. It has to be hit by my backlight here. That's why I wasn't showing the color response just now. But here it's depending on the orientation. You know, if it's flat like this, it seems to be orangey, and if it's diagonal, it gets much more blue. So, okay, Eloptella stagnalis, Pond Lab says, has a proboscis to suck the blood of aquatic invertebrates. So, maybe there was some body fluid left in that isopod leg? I'm not sure. Well, I need to sell it with the lighting setup, otherwise they will be disappointed. They'll send it back and say, I ordered the RGB leech and it wasn't even customizable to my you know, streamer ID and the overlay. Well, it is customizable actually, because you can rotate the polarizer and the other things you put in there. So the plastic. Right now I'm rotating the polarizer and the plastic at the same rate. So I can go to a place like this where it's most of the things are fairly normally colored, like the moss is green and the light is regular color, but I do still get a wavelength dependency in the response of these muscle fibers. So this is yellow-blue leech. So, I mean, we just found proof that this species does not just suck blood from living invertebrates. It tried to suck the blood from a isopod leg that it found. From a isopod that I would speculate it killed itself, and it was just the remains, because I'm not aware of any isopod predators in here. I put several isopods in there, but oh, Nipper, you make me laugh. To those people that watch the stream, post stream, turn the chat on. We're having some fun. But yeah, I mean, I looked into buying a new microphone. We can watch the polarization response of this midge larvae here as well. Just wiggled around. Come on, do it again. Come on. It's a small subject, I guess. For you guys, it wouldn't be really worth a while. But yeah, and it's in the shade, it's really drab, and now it gets like really a pride leech. Even. Rainbow worms. Looks like some of the freaky fishing lures they use nowadays with very colorful plastics, wobblers, wigglers, I don't know what they call them. Fake worms. But yeah, let's look at the isopods. They should show a polarizer, a response too, because they are made of, they do have a good amount of muscles. Yeah, you can see the legs here are kind of violet color. The shins, I guess, and the ones further up are pretty blue. Let's see if we can get a better look. And yeah, I'm still with my microphone. I haven't talked about my microphone yet. I wanted to change microphone. I still want, because I'm still with my old webcam microphone. I've read up on that webcam though. I've found out that it's still sold on Amazon for 30 euros. So I was impressed by the price, because it's like has reviews that are 12 years old or something. But it's HD, and the microphone is okay enough for me to do these streams. Last week I found it was a little... Oh, an Opulus. Big guy. Boink. Sinking down and jumping up. Yeah, so I ordered a new microphone, a small one that I can attach to myself to keep to be able and keep talking while I'm changing lenses and things like that. And it arrived, but it didn't work properly. I was getting really weak signal from it, and I tried all kinds of different references and didn't change anything for the better. So I'll send that back, and actually the day after tomorrow I have a date for picking up a new microphone. Yay. And yeah, the renovations on our new house are moving along, so today I actually moved the first jars, my first sample jars to the new house. Oh, nice. Whoa, these Isopod legs are really blue right now. I mean, it's so much fun playing around with polarizing light and plastics and all kind of things. If you have a microscope, it's yeah, I encourage you to do it. You should know what to look at. So maybe you have something that has a shell, like a snail or crustacean or an insect. Yeah, nipper, it was a Nautilus. Yeah, sometimes I do take a long time to read up on the chat too, so. But, yeah. Polarizing light. On a regular microscope, it's really easy to do, and it's cheap. So these polarizing films that I'm using here, they cost like I don't know, $10. But that's a big sheet. So reply to my mic purchase. Wait a minute. Right, yeah, I mean, I know that the sound isn't as good as it could be, and I do too much talking during these streams, and I don't want to ruin the talking. I mean, the talking is already bad enough, so if it's on top of that, it's bad quality. Bad audio quality, it really, yeah, makes the whole thing less, yeah, harder to enjoy. Let's put it like that. But yeah, mics are hard to purchase, in my opinion. It's there's so many different mics, and I mean, to hear the difference between a $50 mic and a $200 mic, you probably need $100 headphones. That might be exaggerated, but it's hard to decide what to get sometimes, how much I really need, because some things I have a tendency to go overboard and buy too good. Well, since it's been for a while now, this problem is being mitigated by a lack of funds. I need funds to buy stuff. Although I playing around with the idea of maybe opening a Patreon and kind of for example, I could record these streams in 4K and upload in 4K for the Patreons. Yeah, Nipper, the quality is surprisingly good. Let's put it like this. Last week I tried to make it better by putting some like a limiter and stuff like that, but it actually made it worse. It was like sounding a lot more clipped in some scenes. I'm actually getting a pretty cheap one to replace the one I'm using right now. But I have a friend that has a really nice one at home that he isn't using anymore, and he said he's willing to pass that on to me. might do a trade. And yeah, I won't say no to a good mic, because when I'll do real edited videos again, I want to do them with my own voice. Should be yeah, a bit nicer quality. I mean, this is also, oh, connection lost. Let me check my, we don't even have the live stream panel on. Don't see anything. Oh man, are we really already over an hour in this tube? I mean, isopods are really fun to watch because they are hitting the screen and polarized light. Ah, this isopod has a ostracod friend. Oh, shook him off. So I've prepared 2 clips to show you while I'm changing lenses and stuff. And yeah, I could change lenses, and we'll see if we can find some things with the... Is that the music, or is that my iPhone sending messages? Ah, it's my iPhone. I'm sorry. So isopods do share common ancestry with amphipods. Kuba's here. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. It's my thing. The rotating view. It would be nicer to watch this with a stereoscope, actually. But it would require my viewers to have 3D glasses. Something I might try someday, just for fun. So isopods and amphipods share common ancestry, and they have some similar traits. For example, the males will hold on to the females before they mate. It's called precopula. And they hold on to the female while yeah, for up to 2 weeks, I think, before the female molts, and when the female molts, it's ready to be, it has its eggs ready for fertilization, and yeah, at the moment, that's something I'm not able to show because they are not in season, apparently. At least mine aren't. However, I captured this in spring, and I'll show that while I exchange the lens real quick. Be right back. Also note that the bigger one, the one holding the leg, the female underneath, has a whole lot of rotifers attached to the underside. You can just make those out. I hope you can make those out. Okay. So can you see that? There are some rotifers attached to the right here. I don't know if the stream quality will be good enough to show that. Well, Let's see what we can see with the stronger lens. Nothing right now. Let's see. Ah, here we are. Rainbow isopods. I think these would sell well as well. RGB isopods. Maybe even better than leeches, because they don't have these bad reputations. So there was a good look at the scale on the back of this guy. So our field of view right now should be maybe 5 millimeters. Before we had 1 centimeter, and this a little more than double the size. So maybe 4 millimeters. I tried to make some scale bars right before the stream, but I didn't have enough time. But that's something I want to add fairly soon to give you guys an idea of the size of the things we're watching. Because sometimes also you can make wrong assumptions. This isopod is pretty small. It's a juvenile. So it's only 3 or 4 millimeters long. I actually broke off the tip of a glass pipette and used a small welding torch to make it round off the edges, the broken edges, and I used that for some of the medium-sized critters. The biggest ones are really, I haven't found a good method yet to move them. I just don't move them usually. Have to build a finger cup sized fishing net to transfer some of these critters maybe, because tweezers are pretty rough on some of them, I would guess. You'd need like a very, very delicate hand for these tweezers. Let's see what else we can find. At bigger magnifications you usually can find smaller interesting things. Oh, you can't. Still no tardigrades, by the way. I've been checking the moss here, but didn't find any tardigrades yet. There's a vertifer. Okay. Having a hard time. There's one of the midge larvae that's building a tube. So it's I'm guessing a chironomid, but I don't know how many different kinds there are. I've learned today from pond lab that there are meniscus midges, but I think their larvae look more similar to like biting mosquito larvae. Didn't spend a lot of time looking them up. Can we get this guy into the polarized light over here? Is it all in front of the... No, it's all in front of the... The pebble is blocking the polarized light over here. Right. Okay, so I'll change out the tube because we've spent too much time already with this one. Much more than usual. And I've got another clip of isopods passing up a good chance to feed on a small worm, because, I don't know, amphipods are really more opportunistic feeders, I guess. They eat plants, they eat small creatures, but isopods seem to be really pacifist, and they stick to biofilm, I guess. Although you can feed them cucumbers, I guess, and banana or something. However, here's the clip, and I'll change out the tube real quick. Pond Lab was surprised to see an amphipod take a live water flea the other day. Yeah, amphipods are... I think they are responsible for my experience also. I lost a population of water flea to amphipods, as far as I can tell. Sorry, I'm taking a bit longer than usual because I'm exchanging the lens again. Because it just occurred to me might be a fun thing to check out our friends, the red-tailed maggots. With the polarizing equipment in place. Okay, so these isopods, they could have eaten that worm. They both passed the chance. No. Oh. I need to... What do I need? Something's wrong. Something seems off. Okay, the inside of the tube is in focus. There's a cladoceran and... Yeah, you're right, Pond Lab. Water flea are being eaten by a lot of critters. So there's a mosquito larva. And we can see the muscle fiber has different colors depending on orientation. Again, very well. Left and right of the digestive tract. It's very colorful. But something still doesn't seem right. I think I should move the lamp a little bit. There's polarizing stuff. Sometimes it's a little finicky to make it work as intended. I don't know why the footage is this dark right now. It shouldn't be that dark. I touched the thingy. Well, I can already check the... I was thinking these red-tailed maggots might have some interesting features that would show in polarized light, but right now I don't see any of them. So either they are really dark and don't have any features, or they have left for... No, everything's moving here. They do pupate out of the water, yes, they crawl out. That's where they're usually found by people, and people freak out because they think, what is this little thing looking weird? They are called mousies, by the way. They are used in ice fishing as bait, and fishermen call them mousies. I think I did mention that in the last stream. Or on the last stream, the one before the last stream. So the answer seems to be no, they don't show any strong response to the polarizer, right? I would have... I don't know. It's kind of surprising. I would have assumed that they show a fairly strong... Yeah, that they would have some features, some muscles, some fibers to keep like these, yeah, like their mouth thingy here, for example, and their air tubes inflated, but no, apparently not. Let's try with just a bright field. Good old dark field. Isn't it the best? One of the best, for sure. Definitely one of my favorite lighting techniques. Just a lot of things are more visible. Although the polarized light is a lot of fun. did a horrible job on the hardscape in this tube. So this, well, they look like they have kind of all these fibers in their body, but apparently they aren't birefringent. Why does this mousie look like it has a mousie inside? Okay, it's not me that's moving the sleeve around, right? It's one of these mousies mousing around. I don't know where or why. Just know that it isn't me. I'm not touching anything. That's probably up here somewhere. The mosquitoes are here. Ah, yeah, the mousies, they can also move along the water surface. Apparently that's what they are doing right now. Probably feeding on the biofilm that forms on the surface. Oh, the music's out. Oh, music went out. Playlist was too short. Second time on the stream. I'm gonna go out on a limb and put on a different style of music for the end of the stream. You can tell me what you think of it. Instead of lo-fi, some, well, dance. No, I don't hear this stuff to dance. I don't dance. We leave the dancing to the invertebrates. In the UK, there's a campaign to make hoverfly lagoons with little containers full of water and leaves tucked into a corner of your aquatic hoverfly and dronefly larvae like these. Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm sure they are calling them mousies instead of rat-tailed maggots. They just look really weird. But I think it's a great idea. I mean, it seems that in the environments these guys can survive, there's not a lot of competition, but this kind of environment is getting more scarce. Mosquitoes are the biggest problem, I guess. Do they tell people how to avoid that mosquitoes reproduce in there? Because that would be a hard sell if you tell people, hey, you should totally do this, and just have to live with a shit ton of mosquitoes reproducing on your porch or I know mosquitoes are good for a lot of things, for birds to eat and other invertebrates to prey on, but yeah. Mosquito larvae feeding on the biofilm here. It's strange because okay, you fill it to the brim with mosquitoes, with leaves. It's strange because I always thought these Culex larvae, these biting mosquito larvae, only feed on suspended particles with these comb-like mouth parts, eating suspended larvae, algae, and things like that. But yeah, apparently they also feed on biofilm on off surfaces. Yeah, I think the hoverfly larvae don't need a whole lot of water. Don't need any free water. But the environments where I have seen them, they shared their habitat with mosquito larvae. Yeah, so no polarization response on these guys. The mousies. Anyways, it's getting late. Stream is already longer than most of my streams, so I will call it a night. Thank you very much for stopping by, as usual. And thank you a lot for the fun we had and the interesting things we learned about these small creatures here. Yeah, I hope I'll see you next time again. And yeah, Pond Lab. I will. Let's kind of get in touch with each other and talk about this maybe guest speaker kind of thing. I would enjoy that. Oh, these are kissing, these two. Yeah. So right, see you soon, guys. Have a nice day, evening, night, whatever it is for you. And thanks again for watching.